Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is textbook. So here the topic is textbooks basically, right? So one person told that Mumbai basically not help. That means this God group basically has not helped you basically. Then basically one of the person told that what basically Durga Devi basically why not helped Sunil Arnair? That is God basically. Huh? God basically not helped Sunil Arnair. Even basically the Haji Ali Dargah basically not helped Sunil Arnair. Which say that basically if the Dargah basically is safe, that means Mumbai is safe. So the people says that on the last day of world, and basically the Haji Ali Dargah will also get underwater basically, or basically it might destroy in earthquake basically on last day of world basically. That basically I am talking about. So here one of the person told that Durga Devi, that then the Mumbra Devi, this all god basically will also will disappear on last day of world because they don't have any special place basically. They are also staying in some earth planet in somewhere place basically. They also basically are staying in the earth planet only basically. So one of the person told that when you basically visited the Mumbai basically, you had not got the job, right? That means this group say that basically there is no basically value of you Sunil basically in market, and you basically can't handle the team also basically. That basically they indirectly telling that. Why? Because they are telling that basically you don't have any degree, management level degree. That also basically they are telling that. But this whole video basically see, even basically the person who are basically into the World Bank basically, they don't have any information related to this basically. Just now basically I'm going to tell that stock exchange basically daily creates one bank basically. You ask them basically, World Bank basically, World Bank president, you basically ask Ajay Bangar basically. He knows basically that daily one bank is getting created. So 1% of the Gaikwad basically might be knowing, 100% he might be knowing. Why? Because his age basically might be 30,000, 40,000 year old. The original Gaikwad age basically might be 30,000, 40,000 year old. So he 100% might be knowing. We are talking about after 200, 300, the banks which are going to rule the earth planet. We are talking about that bank basically, which is getting created in stock exchange. So entire budget, everything basically are connected with up to what level basically. That is also a question basically because everything is connected basically. If stock exchange basically is creating the banks of 300 year after 300 this bank is going to create, they basically create bank in a day basically. That means budget is also connected. That means if budget is not connected, that means the world is going to end after or within 300 years. If the budget is not connected, that means budget is connected. See the budget also you see basically, that is connecting to the stock exchange and banks basically. If you will connect the budget to the stock exchange, by default it will connect to the banks. All the parameters basically are connected. If you are connecting to any of the one product basically, after 300 years basically this product is going to exist. So focus on that product. They are focusing on that product only basically, and they are doing manipulation in that product because all product basically they can't do the manipulation. Why? Because anybody can track this basically. If anybody can track, that means whatever the future plan basically is going to be in that basically I am 100% sure basically many caste also will get end. It might possible that Nair caste, Iyer caste, many Tamilian caste, many Gujarati caste, that also can be end basically. That's why basically this group never displays the future data. That is after 300 years basically this will be the bank, and they basically I am 100% sure basically the caste basically which is going to exist after 300 years na basically, that also basically they might have designed. So one of the person told that this Harshad Mehta basically Kovand basically, he 100% might be knowing this basically. That's why he was finished basically. And I am 100% sure basically he might have shifted to the another life basically of the Gayakwad basically. So Gayakwad tracked that basically Harshad Mehta basically reached up to me basically. So he might be the Harshad Mehta basically, that person basically who died in front of the world. He might be 100% basically telling you he might be connected with the Gayakwadi world basically. That means Gayakwad have different world basically. He basically has created his own area basically. From that area basically he is ruling the current world ongoing, and after 300 basically what world is going to be. And current world, that means he is Muslim basically, real Gayakwad basically. And his age basically is more than 30,000, 40,000 year. So since 40,000 year basically he is ruling the earth planet. And Jesus Christ basically just now basically came. Jesus Christ's father also basically just now they came basically. But he is basically 30,000, 40,000 year basically. So one of the person told that the system basically is connected up to the level basically. But here the main thing is, assume that basically world ended today as on 1st February. So anything is going to impact. The impact will be the Gaikwad hard work basically which he has done since 30,000 year, that will get end basically. Nothing else basically is going to happen. Because Sky Group, Universe Group basically, Galaxy Group basically, they are always ready basically. If world end also basically they don't have any issue basically. They will create another world basically just few seconds basically. Because they create human basically just as a machine basically. Human basically are machine here na basically. Earth, planet, human basically are machine. They are doing the production through their blood cells basically. Same way the Gaikwad group basically is doing. They basically picked Harshad Mehta and he is basically creating the 300 years. So he is basically connecting this whole thing basically. That is stock exchange, budget, and the 300 years after bank basically. Banks. So one of the person told that it's very difficult to track also basically, yeah. Because you can't track basically. In stock exchange basically, how you will track that basically? One bank is getting created per day. That is not possible. You to track that basically after 300, basically after 200 year, after 100 year, this bank is going to be used. And that use basically is created by the stock exchange. So one of the person told that the person who created the software basically he might be knowing this. He also basically might not be knowing. So you can just imagine basically the people who are into the business analysis, they basically uses the software in that way that even programmer and the developer and the project managers basically can't track it. That this stock exchange basically is going creating per day one bank. I am 100% sure basically the banks are getting created per day, not per week also, per day basically. And stock exchange basically is going since how many years basically. So how many banks basically are created? And Gaikwad age basically is how much? 30,000, 40,000 year. And he is Muslim basically. So if world will end, then mostly basically the Gaikwad creation also will end basically. So here basically if he can prepare 30,000 year, he is basically existing since 30,000 year. That means he might be connected with Shankar Bhagwan God also. His age is basically more than 5 lakh year, 6 lakh year, 7 lakh year. And he might be connected with the galaxy group basically, universe group basically. And he might be Gayakwad basically might be visiting Shankar Bhagwan house also basically. Shiv God basically. So in next video basically we are going to see where basically the Shankar Bhagwan God stays.